Hello guys, hi, welcome back to my channel. So on this previous video we actually talked about the overview of Solidity itself. So right now on this video we'll actually be talking about what Solidity is about and what is it all about rather. So without wasting much of your time, let's get started. Now Solidity, first of all, as it says, is a programming language which is an object-oriented high-level programming language. It's actually used for implementing smart contracts that actually runs on EVM and other EVM-compatible blockchains like BSC, L2 blockchains as well, and a lot more, even Arbitrum. Now, smart contracts are actually programs that actually govern the behavior of accounts within the Ethereum state. Smart contracts are used actually, which enables unbreakable agreements. What does that mean? Smart contract replaces traditional legal enforcement with self-executing computer codes, which are stored on the blockchain because they are actually immutable, which means they cannot be changed once deployed without the need of intermediaries. These smart contracts began with Ethereum itself. Without smart contract, there will not be DeFi. You have to understand it this way. So Solidity is actually a object-oriented high-level programming language. But what is actually the purpose of Solidity? Like I said previously, it's actually to write smart contracts and self-executing codes that actually defines rules and automated agreements without intermediaries. And it is immutable, which actually means it can't be breaked. It's an unbreakable agreement. Now, Solidity is a statistical typed support inheritance as well, libraries, and also complex user defined types. It actually has the ability to actually use inheritance just as other object oriented programming language. Now, Solidity is contract oriented. What I'm trying to say here is codes are actually organized in contracts which are similar to classes in object-oriented programming language, just like C++, JavaScript. So now, if you're actually coming from a Web2 space, you should actually know other object-oriented programming language like JavaScript and C++. JavaScript, basically, specifically, let's talk about it, is actually used in Web3 as well as Web2 development. It's a high-level object-oriented programming language. So when writing JavaScript, when you want to define or organize your code in a certain level, you would use classes as an object-oriented programming language. But on Solidity, what you will use is contract. That's where you will define your code itself. Now, next is actually Solidity is a case-sensitive programming language, which is to say, which means uppercase and lowercase letters are treated as distinct characters, and variables, functions, and contract names must actually be referenced using the exact same capitalization as their definition. What am I trying to say right now? Solidity is a case sensitive language, e.g., like variables. Let's say if I define a variable user and n name, which is the first capital starting level of name will be capital letter, and the other one everything lowercase. These two variables are specific and different variables in Solidity. You take note of what you are actually calling a variable you want to call and where you want to use it, which specific variable you want to use. Once it has different name, definitely that is not the variable you are calling. It would give you an error. So take note of that. Solidity is just a case sensitive language. Now, syntax influence. Solidity is highly influenced by JavaScript and C++. It is actually object oriented just as C++, and JavaScript, but some different minor cases. Just as we said earlier, contract oriented is being used in Solidity when defining a particular or organizing a particular set of code, whereas on JavaScript you use classes. Now, executions environment, Solidity compiles down to bytecode straight, which is executed by Ethereum Virtual Machine. Every other Ethereum Virtual Machine codes, which is what I'm trying to say here, is every other EVM compatible blockchain can actually be executed just as Ethereum. So with Solidity, you can actually create contracts for different purposes. You can actually create NFTs. You can actually create randomness and lottery contracts. You can actually create escrow contracts. You can actually create voting contracts, voting system, also crowdfunding system, DeFi games, and a lot more. You can actually do a lot more with Solidity. So Solidity is a highly recommended language which, if you are coming into the Web3 space, so I do hope you understood this tutorial, and thank you for watching. See you on the next video series tutorial.